Okay, hi, I guess. My name is Himajen. Himajen being Japanese for person of leisure. Jen being my name. Thought I'd combine them together. I don't know. This is the Booktube newbie tag. Did not prepare for this video in any way or make notes, but we're gonna do this. I don't know. Why did you start this channel? I've been watching Booktubers every day for the past like 6 months. I've been reading like crazy. I've been participating in readathons, and I really just wanted to join the conversation. Hey, I read that book too, and like, I want to talk about it with somebody, and I have opinions, and god damn it, I will force them upon you. The Booktube community was the first community that I saw on YouTube, and then I was like, I want to be a part of that. I found my people. Lord knows I don't want to be a part of the beauty community, or I'm not really that much of a gamer. Booktube just feels right. What can I say? What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Well, I live in Japan. Does that make me interesting? I've lived in Japan for the past 3 years. I am an English teacher here in Japan. Oh yeah, I made a list of interesting stuff about myself. I did do that. Where is it? Number 1 being I can speak Japanese pretty well. So if you know anything about Japanese, there is a test called the JLPT, Japanese Language Proficiency Test. The lowest level beginner is N5. The highest near native is N1. My reading and writing is N3. And my listening, I would estimate N2. Because when I did the N2 like practice test, I got a perfect score on the listening. So 日本語でしましょうか。じゃあ、私はジェニファーと申します。大学で専攻は日本語でした。書くこととか漢字はあんまり上手じゃないけど、聞くこととか話すことは大丈夫です。じゃあ、これからよろしくお願いします。You impressed yet? Oh, the best part about this channel, I have 2 hedgehogs. I have 2 hedgehogs. And yes, I film them regularly. Would you like to see them? Latte and Pumpkin. They are sleeping right now. Hedgehogs are nocturnal, so they are sleeping right now, but you will see them regularly on this channel. So if you like hedgehogs, said that, oh Jesus. Very small earthquake just occurred. Hashtag Japan life. I am a chronic illness sufferer in addition to depression, anxiety. I also have fibromyalgia, which is a musculoskeletal pain and fatigue disorder. I have suspected endometriosis. The only way to confirm endometriosis is through a surgical biopsy. I'm not really that interested in having that done here in Japan. I also have what's called misophonia, which basically means that I'm very sensitive to certain sounds, repetitive sounds like a pen clicking, people sniffing repeatedly. Just any repetitive noise triggers. It triggers, and I have to leave the room. Yeah, I have misophonia. It sucks. Most people are surprised to know this, but I am highly, highly, highly introverted. So my Myers-Briggs or whatever is INFPT. It's like I want to talk to people, but social situations exhaust me, especially if I'm around people that I don't really know. Like by the end of the night, I remember when I had orientation for this program and I was just surrounded by people I didn't know all day long. At the end of the day, I was literally dizzy with exhaustion from being around so many people. The internet is a way for me to interact with people that is healthy for me and that doesn't completely exhaust and drain me. Another thing people are surprised to know about me is that I went to automotive school when I was 19. During that time, I had moved out of my parents' house and I was living in a new town and I didn't really know anybody. At first, I was the only female in the program. As the semesters went on, a couple more girls came, but at first I was the only one. When I wasn't in school, and when you're in automotive school and you're a full-time student, it's 8-hour days. I did have free time in the evenings, and I thought, well, I'm gonna take up a hobby. It was kind of random how I chose to study Japanese, but I was like, I wanna learn an Asian language, and I just felt like Japanese was the best fit. Many years later, here we are. What are you most excited for about this new channel? Just interacting with people who love books, talking about books. When I read Out by Natsuo Kirino, it's this crazy book that's got like murder and dismemberment and the Yakuza, and I had no one to talk about it with. This book was a freaking roller coaster ride, and I'm like, I wish someone was going through this with me, because it was a journey, that book. I'm excited to show you kind of what life in Japan is like for a foreigner. I will mainly talk about books, but I'll also, you know, do vlogs and show you tidbits of my life. Why do you love reading? So I have loved reading since I was a child. I used to read these books called the Berenstain Bears. I was like obsessed with those when I was a kid. Then I got a little bit older and I started reading Goosebumps by R.L. Stine. No surprise, I am a huge Harry Potter fan. I am a Ravenclaw. I've read all the books probably at least 10 times. They're just great. They're just really freaking good books. What can I say? I also like to write. So when I was a kid, I wrote short stories about my frog puppet named Croaker. I have written over 100,000 words of a novel. It is an urban YA fantasy. It's truly a hot mess. It will probably never get published, but I enjoyed writing it. Now I just have to edit the freaking thing. What book or series got you into reading? So Harry Potter did not spark my love of reading. Harry Potter sparked my love of Harry Potter. The books that sparked my love of reading. I want you to know that I will always be honest with you on this channel. And so the books that sparked my love of reading. What's the next question? What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? How do you balance YouTube and the ridiculous amount of time it takes with reading? Because, good Lord, I haven't been able to read at all the past couple of days, except for audiobooks. Thank God for audiobooks. How do you deal with negative comments? How do you find the motivation to film on days you don't feel like filming? What are some great things that have happened to you because of Booktube? What challenges do you think starting a Booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? It's hard to let people into your life and to see how you live and to put yourself out there because you're gonna get judged. There's gonna be people that hate you. I am certainly an acquired taste. I am not for everyone. I need a drink of water. This is taking forever. When did you start reading? I've always liked books. I didn't start reading like crazy until April of this year when I did the Owls. The Owls Magical Readathon hosted by G at Book Roast. A couple days before April was about to start, my friend Rebecca posted on Instagram, like, here's my TBR for the Owls Magical Readathon. And I was like, there's a Harry Potter themed readathon? And I didn't know about this? So I immediately started researching about it, subscribed to G. G is not the first booktuber I've subscribed to, she's the second. The first is Ariel Bissett. God, she's freaking adorable human being. Ariel Bissett, G from Book Roast. And then I found Read by Zoe. She's also wonderful. I love watching her 24-hour readathon vlogs. Books with Chloe, also love her. Brittany the Bibliophile. She is from Nevada. I'm from California. And so when I watch her videos, I just feel like more connected to home when I watch her videos. This year, my goal was to read 25 books. I have read 62. 100 is probably impossible. Let me look at my Goodreads and see how many books I read last year in 2018. Okay, so in 2018, I read 24 books, which is still, some people don't read at all. Some people read like crazy. But yeah, reading didn't become like my main hobby until this year. I play piano, I play guitar, I knit, I crochet, I cross stitch, I was into photography for a while. I was into hiking for a while, but I'm not really good at any of those things. I dabble. Where do I read? I read at home, obviously. I read on the go. So now that I discovered book sleeves were a thing, I take a book with me and read at the doctor's office or when I'm on the train, wherever. But the main place I get my reading done is at work. I'm an English teacher, and I have been an English teacher for the past 3 years. So I have over 100 lesson plans ready to go at a moment's notice. When classes get canceled in Japan, which happens all the time, so some days I don't have that many classes. So during my free periods, I can spend them at my desk however I like. Usually, I read ebooks on my laptop. I also do some bullet journaling, budget. I'm really into Dave Ramsey. If you don't know who that is, he's like a budgeting guru. I believe I used Cody from Cody's Book Corner, her 2-month trial for Skillshare, and I've been taking Skillshare classes, so those are really fun. I highly recommend, like a ton of booktubers are sponsored by Skillshare, and so like definitely use one of their codes to get 2 months of Skillshare free. Be awesome. What kind of books do you like to read? I mainly read sci-fi. The Illuminae Files. I loved The Martian. I also liked Artemis. Aurora Rising came out this year. I really loved Aurora Rising. If it's on a different planet or has anything to do with outer space, I'm like, hell yes. Yes. I also really like thrillers. Like I said, that crazy freaking thriller I read, Out by Natsuo Kirino. I loved Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Love a good contemporary, especially if there are queer main characters. I really, really like queer romance. Simon versus the Homo sapiens. Heartstopper. Oh, I'm not like hugely into graphic novels, but slowly getting there. I dabble in everything. I Of course, fantasy. I like fantasy. I hope you can't hear that. That is the town chime going off in the background. Through the loudspeakers every day at noon, it plays a chime, like to tell people, oh, it's noon. Whatever. I read historical fiction. I'm really into period drama movies like Marie Antoinette, Mary Queen of Scots, that was the one that just came out, The Young Victoria, anything Jane Austen. So I'm really drawn to those type of movies. And I do like reading about them too, but I think mainly I prefer the movies. Love a good nonfiction book, love a good self-help book, love a good biography, an autobiography. Books are just freaking wonderful. And it makes me so sad that I live in Japan and I can't just walk into a Barnes & Noble and browse the books, you know. I am also a slut for special edition books, sprayed edges, signed copies, numbered copies, special edition covers, anything by Goldsboro or Waterstones. I must have it. That's been an unfortunate thing to happen to my budget. In college, I read many Japanese classics, Akutagawa, Tanizaki, Natsume Soseki, The Tale of Genji. I've never read anything by Murakami. I should really get on that. I really want to read this book called The Apprenticeship of Big Toe P. And it's about a woman, so it's written by a Japanese author. It's about a woman who wakes up one day and has discovered that her big toe has turned into a penis. I think that's about it. I'm gonna wrap it up. I don't know, if you're curious about what life in Japan is like for a reader, you can subscribe. You can, if you are a fellow Himajen or person of leisure, subscribe. Let's get the discussion going. Let's talk about some books. Thanks for watching, and I'll see ya when I see ya. I've just realized as I'm looking back at the footage that my trash has been in the background for the entire video. We're nothing if not classy here on this channel.